Hello, 8th grade. Today is April 30th. This is Math 8. We're working in Lesson 21. We're going to be in your instruction book. I'm on page 186 and 187. For today, I've got pretty much have my pencil. I do have some of the notes that I took yesterday. So if you wrote these down, go find them. If not, you're going to have to be turning back in your book to check on some of the notes, okay? Today we're going to apply all those things that we learned yesterday, okay? So a lot of patience. You shouldn't know this automatically, okay? And that's okay. So if you have to really stop and think about it, that's exactly what you should be doing, okay? If I talk too fast, pause it, rewind it, watch it again, okay? All right. All right, my friends, we're going to be identifying angle pairs. So what kind of angles go together? Let's explore the idea. Recognize vertical angles to find each measure. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my notes. You can go flip the page. Vertical are also opposite angles, right? So these two are vertical, like the V for vertical. So this one is vertical to that, or the red ones. This one is vertical to that, and this is important to know. They're congruent. That means the same measure. All right, so let's take a peek. All right, so I have this diagram over here. Look, I see a set of parallel lines. This one has two transversals. It's got this one cutting across, and it's got this one cutting across. All right. The measure of angle A. So angle A sits in here. So they want us to use vertical or opposite angles. What is opposite of angle A? What makes this shape? Well, right here. So angle A is 55 degrees. And I know that because they're opposite of each other, right? If I hop across, they're opposite. Let's find the measure of angle B. Here's the measure of angle B. So look at the shape it makes. So this line and this line hop across. B is 65 degrees. So I like vertical angles. They're easy to find. So, you know, those are the easy ones. All right, let's keep going. Recognize alternate interior angles to find each measure. All right, alternate interior. So I'm going to go back to my notes. Alternate interior. So they are opposite on opposite sides of the transversal, and they're inside the parallel lines, and they are also congruent. So I got a lot going on my picture. Look at the purple. First of all, these are the parallel lines. I'm inside, and then I'm going to alternate. So on this side, 5 and 4. The purple ones are alternate interior, and they have the same measure. We cover that. And the green ones, alternate interior, same measure. All right, so let's take a peek. The measure of angle C. Here is angle C. I'm inside the parallel lines. Now I want to hop on the other side of the transversal. There it is. And if you notice, this is acute and this is acute. So angle B and angle C have the same measure. Well, good news. I already know what angle B is, right? So I should have labeled it 65, right? 65, 65. Now this is 65. Okay. All right. How about the measure of angle D? Let's go to the other side. Alternate interior. I'm on this side of the transversal, so I need to hop across, but I need to stay inside the parallel lines. So that's going to be this one. So these two are congruent. Again, acute, acute. So angle D must be 60 degrees. Let's keep going. More from yesterday. Use same side interior angles to find the measure. So I'm going to go back to my notes. Here we go, at the bottom. Same side interior equal 180. They are not congruent. So parallel lines, I'm inside and I'm on the same side of the transversal. So the two pink angles, one acute, one obtuse, if I add those, they equal 180. Same thing here, the blue ones. One acute, one obtuse, if I add them, they equal 180. Now remember, these two are the same measure, and these two are the same measure. All right, so let's see what we got. Okay, the measure of angle E. All right, so E is here, and I'm using same side into, okay, so 60 plus E equals 180. So 60 plus E equals 180. 60 degrees plus angle E equals 180. So what does that have to be? I could do 180 minus 60. So the measure of angle E needs to be 120. Is it obtuse? It is. So I'm actually going to mark that 120. All right, good. What's another way to find E? Well, I could do this, right? Angle D and angle E are linear pairs. They make 180. So I could say angle D plus angle E equals 180 degrees. And I know that angle E is 60 degrees. Oh, I kind of already wrote that, didn't I? Well, okay. We'll write it again. So angle E equals 120 degrees. Okay. All right, let's try another one. More vocab. Use corresponding angles to find the measure. Use corresponding angles to find the measure. Corresponding angles. Let's go back to our notes. Back to the top of our notes. Corresponding angles. So corresponding angles, this is the same location at the intersection, remember? So at this intersection where the two roads cross, the two lines cross, bottom left. If I come down here where they cross, bottom left. What do I know about them? Boom, congruent. All right, so let's go look. What's the measure of angle F? Oh, I've drawn all over this thing. I apologize. I'm sorry. I've marked all over it. Angle F. So corresponding. So go to the next intersection after all of my writing. Can you tell? Who is in the same location? So if I look, I'm going to try to ignore this one. I'm the bottom right. So come up here. Try to ignore this line. Bottom right. Boom. Angle F is 60 degrees. Now, what's another way to find F? Well, I was just looking at this. If angle E is 120, angle F has to be supplementary. They make a linear pair, so together they equal 180. So I know that angle E plus angle F equals 180 degrees, and I know that 120 degrees is angle E. So angle F must equal 60 degrees, right? That's the missing number. Okay. Let's try number 8. Lines P and Q are parallel. Can you see them here, P and Q? These two lines are parallel, all right? So you know what this is, slashing across them, right? What's that called? That's the transversal. Transversal comes and cuts along. Okay. Give 3 reasons why angle 1 and angle 7 are congruent. Angle 1 and angle 7. Why are they congruent? All right, well, I noticed it right away. Do you see it? Look at where they're located. Inside the parallel lines, opposite sides. So I'm going to say angle 1 and angle 7 are, what do we call that? Inside and opposite. They are alternate interior. So that means they're congruent. Actually, I probably should have made that, but that's okay. All right, I should have made that say congruent. That's all right. What else do I notice about them? What do you want to say? How about this? Angle 1 and angle 3 are opposite. Angle 3 and angle, so these are opposite, right? Vertical. So angle 1 and angle 3 have the same measure. All right, we don't have to write this down. It's okay because it would take forever. Let me move the word congruent. It's messing up my, there we go. All right, angle 1 and angle 3 are opposite angles, vertical angles. That means they have the same measure. Angle 3 and angle 7 are corresponding, right? Same location at the intersection. So these two have the same measure, and these two have the same measure. So those two have to have the same measure. Okay, what else would work? Angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding. So these two are in the same location. That means they're congruent. They're also obtuse. Did you catch all that? All of these are obtuse. So these two would match because they're corresponding, and these two would match because they're vertical. So angle 1 and angle 7 are congruent because these two are corresponding and these two are vertical. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, page 187. All right, in the diagram, A, B, C, D is a parallelogram. So that means these are parallel to each other and these are parallel to each other. So you could think of it like, here's a pair of parallel lines with two transversals, or I could turn it and I could say, here are a set of parallel lines with two transversals. So I'm going to tell you right now, all of these are related to each other. Okay, this kind of does some cool stuff. List all the angles that are congruent to angle 1. So we're going to go through and find all the ones that match, and all the angles that are congruent to angle 8. And then for the angles listed below, tell how they're congruent to 1 or 8. So I'm going to look at these two and figure out how they're congruent. Or actually, those 3. All right, let's start with angle 1. Let's find it. Angle 1 is here. Actually, can I use a color? Oh, look, I got a highlighter right here. I had to have it for 7th grade. All right, this is angle 1. Who is congruent to angle 1? Okay, let's go vertical, opposite. So who's opposite? Angle 1 is opposite of angle 3. So these two should be congruent. All right, how about go back to 1. Let's go corresponding, same part of the intersection. Bottom left, let's go up. Who's bottom left? 13. Okay, let's come back down here. Let's go corresponding this way. So again, bottom left. Now go to this intersection. Who's bottom left? 5. So if 1 and 5 match, 5, what do we know about 5 and 7? Well, they're vertical. So these two match. If I come up here to 13, 1 and 13 are congruent because they're corresponding. Same spot in the intersection. 13 is going to be congruent to 15 because why? I'm hopping across. They're opposite. So, what have I got going on up here? Make a prediction. Which two angles up here are going to be congruent to the rest? Well, 1 corresponds to 13. 13 corresponds, bottom left, to 9. And the 9 is vertical to 11. Do you see the pattern? Bottom left, upper right, bottom left, upper right, bottom left, upper right, bottom left, upper right. Okay, let's list them all. Who's congruent to 1? So, angle 3, comma, I'll go numerical order. Angle 5, comma, angle 7, comma, right here. Angle 9, comma, angle 11, angle 13, comma, angle 15. Okay. I'm going to switch colors. I'm going to do a pen this time. Where's my purple? I love my purple pen. There it is. Okay. Congruent to angle 8. All right, so angle 8 is here. Well, there's only so many left. We got it. Let's talk about why. Angle 8 and angle 6 are congruent. Why? Say it. They're vertical. Angle 8 and angle 4, why are they congruent? They're not vertical. What are they? Same spot in the intersection. Go to your notes. What's that called? Corresponding. They're in the same spot, upper left, upper left. Let's go up. Upper left, upper left. Angle 8 and angle 12 are congruent because they are also same spot at the intersection, corresponding. Now let's go back to 4. If 8 and 4 are the same measure, 4 and 2 are the same measure because they're vertical. I can go back up here. If 12 and 8 are the same because they're corresponding, 12 and 10 have the same measure because why? Vertical. All right. What were we at? 8. If 8 and 12 are congruent because they're corresponding, 12 and 16 are also congruent because they're corresponding. Upper left, upper left, upper left. And if angle 16 matches angle 8, angle 14 also matches because it's vertical. It makes a neat little pattern. So angle 8, let's go in order. So it would be angle 2 is congruent, angle 4 is congruent, angle 6 is congruent, angle 8 is congruent, angle 10 is congruent, angle 12 is congruent, angle 14, and angle 16. Okay. So let's see if we can remember what we said. Okay, who is angle 6 congruent to? Where is it? Okay, angle 6, so I'm going to say angle 6. I'm going to use that fun symbol, right, is congruent to angle 8. Why? 6 and 8, look at where they're located. They're vertical. Or opposite. You could say either one. They'd both be correct. Okay, how about 15? Where did we find 15? Right here. So angle 15 is congruent to angle 1. Why? 1 and 15. What do you want to say? That one's a little trickier. They're not corresponding. Well, you could say angle 1 and angle 13 are corresponding, and angle 13 and angle 15 are vertical. Okay? I don't want to write all that. Is that okay? So angle 1 and angle 13 are corresponding. Angle 13 and angle 15 are vertical. All right, let's keep going. Angle 14, where is he on the list? Here he is. Angle 14 is congruent to angle 8. Why? Okay, let's find angle 14. Here's 8, and here is 14. Yikes! They're on the other side. Okay, what do you want to say about it? How do we know? Let's do some corresponding. So let's say angle 8 corresponds to angle 4, correct? Same place in the intersection, upper left. And angle 4 and angle 14, do you remember this one? Opposite sides inside. Angle 4 and angle 14 are alternate interior. So that's how they're all related. It's like that, what is it? 6 degrees, 8 degrees of Kevin Bacon. How are they related? Well, 6 is related to 14 because, or 8. 8's congruent to 4, and then 4 is congruent to 14. It's kind of like that. If you don't know that joke, your parents will enjoy that. Okay, number 10, reasoning about transversals and congruent angles can give you information about different polygons. If the parallelogram formed by these lines, in the parallelogram formed by these lines, what did you notice about diagonal opposite angles? Okay, so this was this pattern. This is a diagonal. What do we notice about diagonal opposite angles? So these are opposite 1 and 3, and 9 and 11 are opposite. And then 4 and 2 are opposite, go to its diagonal, 10 and 12. What do we notice about them? 1 and 3, 9 and 11, same measurements, they're congruent. 2 and 4, 10 and 12, they're congruent. I'm just going to say they are congruent angles. Okay. All right, almost done. Hang in there. Oh, Adam. Go, Adam. Adam's making a table. Maybe he's doing that while he's at home on quarantine. Adam sketches plans for a small wooden table. This side view shows the 2 legs here, right? Let's see. It shows the 2 legs on the side of the table. Why can you represent the tabletop and the floor with parallel lines? So why is the tabletop and the floor, why are they parallel? How do I know that? Well, they're both horizontal and they're both, what, same distance from each other? You could go back to that little kid answer. Remember when you talked about parallel lines, they'll never intersect. We could say that. They are both horizontal. They will never intersect. I'm going to say same distance. T-A-N-C-A-N-C-E. Same distance from each other. Okay. I'll do my, you know how I like to do part print and part cursive. Okay. All right. Which 2 pairs of angles are alternate interior angles? So these are the parallel lines. I have to be inside and I need to be opposite of each other. So there's like 2 sets actually. So let's start, where do you want to start? We have to find 2 that match, right? Because there's no letter here and no letter here. So I can't pick those because they don't have letters. What if I picked A? So angle A and which other one are alternate interior? So hop on the other side and slide down. Angle A and angle E are alternate interior. These 2 go together. What if I picked angle B? Hop across and slide down. So we could say angle B and angle D. I wrote with my pen. There you go, JJ. I wrote with my pen. Okay, if Adam builds the table and doesn't make those pairs of angles congruent, what will be wrong with his table? So, if these angles don't match, what's going to happen? His table will be wonky. His table won't be flat. Everything will fall off of his table. Whatever answer, I like wonky. His table will be wonky. If Mr. Hedrick made that table, it would be wonky, but don't tell him I said that. Okay. All right, my friends. Thank you for hanging in there. I know this is a lot of vocab. All right, so you're going to practice some of this. Please make sure you're taking those notes. Those notes really help. Okay, I want you to work on practice and problem solving, page 221 and 222, and I will post the answers so you can check them. Okay? All right, my friends. Have a good one. Bye.